What is up, you beautiful peace travelers out there? I wanted to make this video because a lot is happening in the world. I've been asked more than once what my thoughts are on the election, what I think about Donald Trump, and my initial reaction was that I really don't have too many thoughts about it, because let us just take a moment to understand what type of world we live in right now. We live in a world where, or at least a society in the US, where our government thrives on oppressing the individual. Even businesses thrive on oppressing the individual, meaning that you are to look at yourself as incomplete and as afraid. Because if you're afraid, if you're incomplete, you'll buy this product to make you more complete. Or if you're afraid, you'll be controlled. You'll give your power to someone who has the answers. You see? And I realize along my early journey that it really doesn't matter who's in office or which face we choose to respect as our president, because it's actually our system that is corrupt in and of itself. Now, what I mean by that is that our system of government and our society as a whole, like I said, thrives on fear, thrives on oppressing the individual, but the biggest thing that I want to bring to your attention is that it thrives on making us believe that we are separate. Think of the people that you just dislike, you just despise them. Why do you despise them? If you're like me, you can't really think of anyone that you despise, but you can probably think of a few that might grind your gears a bit. Donald Trump might be one of them. Now, we are all humans here. We all came from the same source. We all live in the same universe. And to believe that one person has the answers, one person has the power over all of us, or has the ability to change a nation, is actually really, really futile. Because you see, we are all creating the society that we live in every day. We are choosing the thoughts that we think. We are choosing our dominant energy, and then we are bringing that into the world to thus influence others, who thus influence others. You see, if I go into a mall and I just start screaming at people, almost like they think there's going to be a shooting, they're going to bring that experience home with them. And they're going to tell their parents, I was so scared in the mall. There was this crazy man that was just flipping out at random babies and taking their lollipops and licking them right in the face. Right in front of their face, not actually licking little kids. Or maybe I was licking little kids in the face. Oh my God. You see, they'll take that home with them, and then their parents are going to tell other people, and it's just going to ripple out, and then suddenly all of the US is just scared and think that the world is just a terrible place. Let alone they get to go home and see right on their TV, yep, indeed the world's a terrible place. Just look at the news. And you see, Trump, as I see it, thrives on this separation. Because if I'm not mistaken, he believes that it's the Mexicans who are taking all our jobs or who are wrong, and it's probably the Middle Eastern people who need to be bombed and who are wrong for... Who even knows why we bomb them? Does anyone... if you have the real answer, comment, please. Because the way I see it is it's just that we have chosen, out of all these countries, there are no countries, we created countries. We're all just humans. There's no races. We just created races to make us feel separate. Now, the way I see it is that we just simply picked, out of all these races, out of all these countries, which one we want to be our enemies. And thus then that enemy mindset, that separation mindset is strengthened via the media, via people talking about it, and via the government itself too. Now, I'm just going to throw this in here for kicks, but say that you are extremely powerful. You can control thousands of millions of people. And you have so much money you can go to space. And you can go inside Area 51 and see what happens there. And you have everyone at your fingertips. You see. And there's other people who offer you even more power. If you're guided by your ego, which a lot of people are, you'd probably take the more power. You'd probably hang around people who keep you in power. And so, before you start calling people conspiracy theorists, because in the next few weeks, there's going to be a lot of conspiracy theorists coming out and saying all of these things that the government is hiding, all of these secret organizations that the president sometimes doesn't even know about, like Snowden did. There's going to be a lot of that coming, I feel. Before you call people conspiracy theorists, recognize what you're doing. When you call someone a conspiracy theorist, you are, in effect, one, affirming and assuming that powerful people just don't get together and form plans. It doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. No, all the powerful people are just so loving and they just care about us so deeply. That's the first thing that you're assuming when you call someone a conspiracy theorist. The second thing that you're also doing is realizing you're more so strengthening that the system sustains itself. Have you ever wondered why people stay tightly in their shells? They're afraid to say that they're gay or lesbian, and they're afraid to be themselves. It's because we live in a world which oppresses itself. You see, it's a little tricky because when I talk about the government oppressing us, they've got it in such a way, we've created it in such a way where we actually oppress ourselves. You see, right now, if someone comments and says that they're a Trump supporter, you may have other people, I hope not, in my audience at least, that will comment back to that person and insult them and tell them why they're wrong. And that's exactly what got Trump in office, is that belief of separation. It doesn't matter what reason separates you guys. It's all an illusion. When you realize love is all there is, you will feel a lot better, you will feel a lot safer, and you will create a more harmonious world. You see, people ask me, how can I change the world? I've even asked this question. And I realize that to change the world, I've got to change myself first. And the beautiful thing is that once you do change yourself, you are in effect changing the world. Because the world that we live in, the society that we live in, is much like a mirror. And when you see a mirror, you don't go over the mirror and try and make it smile. You have to smile first. And you look beautiful when you do. And when you do smile, that mirror has to smile back because it doesn't have a mind of its own. You see, a lot of people like to think that society is this big mechanism and it just has a mind of its own and it controls your life. No, you create it every single day, and the only reason Trump is in office is because of you. Now, does your vote count? I have no idea if your vote counts or not. I know the Electoral College and how screwy that is, but does your vote count? I have no idea. So, that doesn't change the fact that you still are in power. because every day we affirm to either keep this society the way it is or to change and radiate love and acceptance for everyone. You see, if enough people love our neighbors and respect everyone, it's going to start to become popular. And on top of that, I would just love to tell you right now that it already is popular. You see, there are 40,000 plus monks, Buddhist monks, alone that were praying and meditating, and still are, for our country during this election and for world peace. And you can always join these Buddhist monks. I'll put some links in, if I can find them, to find out when your time zone lines up with theirs so you can all meditate at the same time and radiate peace. I do it all the time. But there's 40,000 plus Buddhist monks, enlightened beings that are praying and sending love to our country. On top of that, there's spiritual and holistic centers being built in Africa and all over the world. And on top of that, slavery is at an all-time low in world history. Do you really think we still live in a terrible world? I don't. I see the world as so beautiful and wonderful. And I simply view the Trump election as a reflection of the values that we already held. You see, from a global scale, people are looking at America right now, and they are seeing our dominant belief, which is a belief in an external power being able to fix our problems, which cannot happen. But who knows? Maybe he'll bring some improvements. You never know. I know personally I bless him with love. I bless all the supporters, and I bless everyone on the planet with love, simply because that's what I choose to create. That's what I choose to bring to the world, man. That's what I am made of. I am love, I am loved, I am loving, and you are too. This is what I'm trying to get you to realize. Those were my initial thoughts on the Trump election. Now, as I think about it here, this beautiful time, ask yourself this one question. Is the person in office coming from a spiritual place of love? That's all you gotta ask. Is the person in office coming from a place of love? Love is the acceptance of each other unconditionally, without any insistence that you have to satisfy me. I love you, which means I unconditionally accept you. I celebrate your existence, and I have no insistence that you have to satisfy me in any way. That's beautiful. And when more people can come from this perspective, I promise you, you will feel it. I see results all around me every day. People smiling. At least once a day, on average, I'd say, someone tells me that I've made their day. I'm nothing special. I used to sit in the back of classrooms and not say a word. I was learning. I was observing everyone. Yes, it's quite fun. Try it. But I just want you to see I'm nothing special. I'm simply equal to you. And if I can make someone's day, or if think of the people that you are inspired by, the artists, the singers, the actors who inspire millions. You're equal to them too. You are their equal. Donald Trump, you are his equal. Begin to view yourself as equal to all of existence, and you will realize that you are powerful beyond belief. I can't help but smile because I hear the kids jumping on the trampoline over there. You see, they're not concerned at all. They have love in their heart, and for the most part, before they are taught not to, they accept others. They're curious and not judgmental. Replace judgmentality with curiosity. It's a lot funner. You learn a lot more by being curious than being judgmental. Okay? One of the last things I'm going to speak about is going to be big. So, prepare yourself. Oh my God. It's not that scary. I'm throwing it in here for kicks. What do you think is in Area 51? Big base. A lot of people say most of it's underground. What do you think some of the government cover-ups, such as like Project Blue Book, are about? Interesting. Let me know your thoughts about them, or any other, what most people would call conspiracy. Even though in the future that's totally going to dissolve away, and we're going to realize that we've been being oppressed, maybe even lied to, for a long time. There's been government cover-ups as far back as Egyptian times. It's the Freemasons, my ancestors. I don't know if they're my actual ancestors. Pretty cool. So realize, my thoughts on Trump are this. He supports separation, meaning he views other people as wrong and us as right. And if you view that too, if you think that Americans are right and Hispanics or whatever, or Middle East is wrong, by all means, go right ahead. Just remember this one fact, that the world needs more love. If you think the world needs more separation, try viewing our history. Separation is what actually causes all wars. Religion is a big one. I'll make another video on that one. So, along with supporting separation, Donald Trump also, if you've ever watched any of his campaigns, thrives on fear as well, which means he wants people to be afraid of what we would call the enemy. I won't be surprised when there's some kind of, who knows, shooting or something that really scares us, and then he offers a solution to. Did he plan it? Did he cause the shooting? Did he cause the bombing? I don't know. I have no idea. But what I do know is that there's something called a Hegelian dialectic. It's where there's a problem, there's a reaction, and then there's a solution. And you see this all the time in politics, time and time again. They create a problem, you react to it, and then they offer you a solution. It's all just a game, baby. You see? And I have learned so much about our own personal power that right now you are able to see auras, you are able to feel energy, and you are able to go within and feel your essence, which means feel that you are made of the fabric and structure of existence itself. You are it, baby. That's what Jesus meant in the Bible. A lot of the Bible is untrue, I feel. It's a lot man-made and things like that, but there is some truth in there. You just gotta look with love and not fear, and you'll find it. Jesus said, "Ye are gods, you are gods." He tried to tell everyone that everyone can do what he could do. It's time and time again in the Bible that that's in there. Granted, some of the newer versions actually take that out, which is actually what I'm trying to convey to you guys, is that the third thing, Donald Trump thrives on separation, he thrives on fear, and he thrives on an us and a them perspective. Which means if we believe we are right and someone else is wrong, he thrives on that. But more so, he thrives on him being the them and us being the us, where we're separated. He doesn't want us to know that we are our governments, that we are all equal and humans. He doesn't want us to know that. Because if we know that, then he has lost power and we cannot be controlled. We thus take our lives into our own hands, and there's no need for him or the unnecessary laws that exist, you see. And another thing I'm going to end this video with, when I was in high school, I would talk a lot about the fall of 2016. I would talk a lot about the shift, the big awakening. What does that even mean? Waking up. Essentially, waking up means that you are becoming aware of your equality of existence, of your spiritual, universal nature, and of your own power. That you are way more powerful than you could ever believe to be. That you are an infinite being. There are millions, if not billions, of people around the world that I connect with every day who are awakened and who are not very surprised with this election. Because one of my mentors a long time ago told me the earth will shake. The earth will shake only as hard as it needs to wake you up and make you realize that you've been choosing fear and not love. So there you have it. Are you choosing fear or are you choosing love? Bless them with love and realize that you are safe. You see, it is said that Buddha could turn arrows into flowers just with his pure love. Whether that's just a saying or if it's true, I don't know. But it serves a great deal of wisdom here to remember that love cures all. Remember Gandhi, remember Martin Luther King, and there you have it. You create peace by creating it within yourself. I love you guys so much. Begin to view us all as equal. There is no us and them. There's only we. We are it. We are the world. We are the story of the universe. You're all beautiful. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned to your own truth. It's a beautiful day, a wonderful time on earth. Thank you so much. In my last little bit, I'm going to ask you a question. Kind of like I did with Area 51. What do you think is in the secret Vatican Library? Did you know that in the Vatican, where the Pope is and all of that in Rome, that there's a library that's huge and no one can go in it? It's guarded by guards every day. What do you think is in there? Could it be what Jesus and Buddha were really trying to teach us? And take that again as another example of an us and a them scenario. This will die soon, and we will realize that we are all one. Peace to all you guys out there. Relax. You are held in love always. Namaste.